Hello there guys, this is Alex here, bringing you part 2 of What If Deku Was Recovery Girl's grandson. So, a quick start before I continue on. I do apologize for the inconvenience of me not being able to upload these couple of weeks. Currently, no real excuse actually. I've only just been working on my job, and currently with Ed, he's a little bit delayed with his work. He actually has more hours on top of what he usually had, so he can only work on his day off, which is usually around Thursday. Currently, I've been working back. I don't have home office anymore. I've been going back to my office job, and basically, when I get home, it's a very long transportation cycle. Back and forth, as well as I've been generally helping out some other YouTubers in the What If community as well. So I do apologize if for any delays in the videos. I do apologize. I really need to get back on track. I've just been trying to help all these people out. People who I usually like their content, I respect, or simply I kind of like them. Not specifically. I like working with them. Basically, it feels nice. So in this case, that's all. I do apologize. That's all I have to say. In this case, I'll see about trying to get out another script done, or try to get it to to another script, or whenever he has the free time. So back to the story. Where we last left off, Izuku went out to take Fito for a walk, while Inko had a surprise visit. After a while, Izuku actually spent his time with Ojiro, trying to make sure that Fito had a nice little walk, as well as making sure that the two were sharing their thoughts about combat, as well as general likes. What their interests were. Ojiro was talking about his ideas of how heroes are, as well as talking about being a hero himself. The kind that uses martial arts as his main focus, just like Gunhead. Izuku telling him about his experience trying to become someone like his mother or grandma, although still being himself, since he really doesn't like being called Recovery Boy. At the moment, while this is going on, Izuku heads back home. He sees that nobody's there. Izuku would say, that's weird. I could have sworn that Mom had the day off, and she didn't say anything about going out, nor has she left a note. I guess she's with Auntie Mitsuki. I think I better give her a call. Izuku calling the Bakugo residence, as Mitsuki would pick up and say, "Oh, hello?" Izuku saying, "Oh, hey Auntie, it's me, Izuku." Mitsuki saying, "Oh, Izuku? Oh, it's been a while, hasn't it?" Izuku saying, "Yeah, but I wanted to ask you if you know where my mom is." Mitsuki saying, "Your mom? No, not really. We were talking on the phone earlier today, and she told me that you were All Might's hero, weren't you? Your mom was so proud of you, you could say that she was bragging about you." Izuku saying, "Yeah, I did." In the background, Izuku could hear Katsuki was swearing, and Mitsuki scolding him for doing so. As Mitsuki would say, "Sorry about that. Katsuki said something that he wasn't supposed to. In any case, your mom had to close the call because she had to go get the door. Maybe she went out to groceries or something, because she did say something along those lines. I'm making you a surprise dinner, but I wouldn't exclude the possibility of her being called in at work for an emergency." In the background, Katsuki being bratty and Mitsuki scolded him once again. As Mitsuki would say, "Sorry, but I have to go because Katsuki is being impossible right now." Izuku ended the call with Mitsuki. As soon as Izuku finishes talking with Mitsuki, the phone rings. As Izuku picks up the phone, as he would say, "Shunjinshi residence, who's calling?" As she would say, "Finally, Izu, where's your mother? I tried calling her multiple times." Izuku saying, "I don't know. I actually called Aunt Mitsuki to see if she was there, but she wasn't. As she would say, "Thank you, Izu. I'll see you later. I have something to take care of here, and if your mom comes back, tell her to call me." Izuku would say, "Oh, okay, I'll do that." Before ending the call, Izuku could hear his grandmother complaining about Inko with something like she promised not to disappear, without telling anybody where she's going. She's not a college student anymore, and old habits die hard. It was now around 7 p.m. Izuku hasn't heard anything from his mother. At this point, he's starting to get worried about her and thinking, why hasn't she come back yet? The grocery store wasn't that far. She should have been here by now. He would just start to contemplate until he got hungry. He would start preparing a sandwich in the meantime, as Chiyo was visibly angry. While coming back home, once she opens the door, she sees that Izuku was eating a sandwich and a messy kitchen. As Chiyo is visibly shocked, saying, "Izu, what happened?" Izuku saying, "You see, I was hungry and I tried, to make dinner." As Chiyo would say, "So, your mom hasn't come back yet, leaving you, a 9-year-old boy, home alone, and you made the kitchen into a war zone. Why did it turn out like this?" As Izuku would say, "Grandma, are you mad because I made a mess in the kitchen?" As Chiyo says, "Heavens no, at least not at you. This is all your good-for-nothing of a mother's fault. Once she gets here, I'll make sure that she works even harder, then that'll teach her a lesson." Izuku, after eating his sandwich, would get up and go to watch TV, as Chiyo is clearing her throat. "Izuku, what are you doing?" As Izuku would say, "Watching TV?" As Chiyo would say, "Young man, you know the rules. No chores, no TV." Izuku, sighing, saying, "Okay." Chiyo would say, "Good. And since I haven't eaten anything, how about I get you dessert?" As Izuku would get excited and saying, "Oh, where are we going?" As Chiyo would start to chuckle a little bit. "Calm down. We're not going anywhere. I'll just have an old friend of mine bring something over. So, help me clean up the kitchen." A good 30 minutes had passed, and as the kitchen was clean, the doorbell rang. Izuku went to open the door, only to see an old man with gray hair and a scruffy beard. As the man would say, "Hey there, Izuku, right? Did you order takeout?" Izuku, visibly confused. "Grandma, is this your friend?" As Chiyo walks up to the door, saying, "Thank you, Izu. Do you mind finishing setting up the table?" Izuku left. "Well, finally, Soriko, what took you so long?" Soriko would say, "Sorry about that, but I had to pass by and get some taiyaki for dessert." As Chiyo would start rolling her eyes. "Well, don't just stand there. Come in. I assume you haven't eaten yet." Soriko would say, "Well, I was about to cook something, but I got your text, so yeah, then I thought, why not eat together, just like the good old days? Besides, the only times you'd ask me to bring you food was either you were tired from work or you wanted someone to talk with." As Chiyo would say, "Wow, I never knew you were that observant." Few moments later, everything was set, and of course, Izuku had his taiyaki and was watching TV. And after Chiyo and Soriko were done eating, Soriko noticed the sadness in Chiyo's eyes. As Soriko would say, "Chiyo, what's wrong?" As Chiyo would say, "It's Inko. I'm worried. I tried calling her since the afternoon, but nothing." As Soriko would say, "Chiyo, relax. Probably she needed some time off. When she's ready, will come back just like last time." As Chiyo angrily would say, "I hope not. Last time she was a mess. Not only did she come back pregnant, but she involved Mitsuki. And she too was pregnant, but in Mitsuki's case, her boyfriend took responsibility and married her. But that Midoriya kid, I still want to kick his ass for not taking responsibility." As Soriko would say, "Shh, not out loud, otherwise Izuku might hear." The two turned their head to check out Izuku, only to find him sleeping on the couch. Soriko would say, "Well, just like good old lazy bones. He always passed out on the couch after he had his share of food. And I can tell that Izuku's indeed his grandson. Izuku's almost his spitting image, but Izuku also got your cheeks and nose and Inko's eyes as well." As Chiyo would start chuckling. "I only hope he's got only the eyes from Inko, and hopefully not the repeat of the mistakes as her, nor get Mizu's little shtick of finding danger around the corner, nor anything of that good-for-nothing Midoriya." As they chatted for the next few hours, Soriko reassured Chiyo and also brought Izuku to his room. And before Soriko left, he reassured her once again, and he left. Chiyo thinking, "I hope it's not because of that Midoriya brat again. But most importantly, I really hope she's not pregnant again." A day passed by, then the second, and finally the third. Chiyo couldn't handle the lies she told Izuku concerning Inko anymore and reported her daughter missing and telling Izuku the truth. More days passed, and those days turned into weeks. The case of Inko, missing from the police force, went into the hands of the Hero Association, making everyone wonder where did she go. As Chiyo, on the other hand, wasn't looking good, they had to give her some time off from the hospital, and Izuku was pretty worried, and he started to put his smart mind to good use. He went to Sir Nighteye's agency. It was the only pro-hero Izuku could approach without raising any suspicion. After arriving, he was told by the secretary to wait in Sir Nighteye's office. Izuku noticed the All Might merch and assumed that he was a big fan of his before being his sidekick. But he couldn't stop and admire all of the collectibles. Izuku was on a mission. After some time, Izuku flipped every paper that he could find, opened and searched in every file, but nothing. He wasn't at a loss. As a man would say, you do know it's bad manners to go through someone else's stuff, right? Izuku was caught red-handed. His thoughts and heart rate were going 1 mile per minute. He turned around only to see Sir Nighteye. Nighteye, while he was fixing his glasses, would say, "Young Izuku, I already know why, and what are you here for? But I do want to hear your version of the facts." Izuku was visibly confused, as he would say, well, you see, I came to your agency because I want to look for my mother, and as Sir Nighteye would say, "Okay, kid, that's enough. First off, this is in my agency. It belongs to All Might, but I take care of the paperwork and most of the official stuff, while All Might is on patrols." As Izuku would say, "So in other words, you're the boss, right?" Nighteye smirking. "You're a smart kid, but in any case, I understand that you want to find your mother, and I've already saw a lot of outcomes with what you were going to do." Izuku saying, "What do you mean?" As Nighteye sighs, as he would say, "I guess I have to explain myself. My quirk allows me to take a glimpse into the future, from a second from now, or somewhere far into the future. It could be days, weeks, months, or years. Or simply put, I already know what you will do with the file containing your mother's case." As Izuku says, "So does that mean I can have the file?" As Nighteye would say, "No, there's no need. Just to keep out of trouble and inspire you to be better yourself, I must admit, whatever you did, or rather what you will do, will pay off in the end. So I just want you to sit back and relax, and for what it's worth, you would make a great detective." As Izuku was visibly shocked. "Wait, what? But..." As Sir Nighteye would say, "In any case, trust me, kid. You do not want to go there, and I've seen what would happen in this vision. If you really care for your mother, you'll do as I say." Izuku had mixed feelings, but he understood the gravity of the situation, and he let the heroes do their job. Days passed at the Shujinshi residence. Chiyo still thinking about her daughter's disappearance. A knock on the door could be heard. It was Nighteye himself. Chiyo went to open the door to see what he wanted. As soon as Chiyo opened the door, Nighteye, trying to rush Recovery Girl, he would say, "Chiyo-san, hurry up and get ready. We found her. She's on her way to the hospital as we speak." As Chiyo was speechless and rushed to the hospital as quick as she possibly could, only to find an unconscious Inko in a hospital room. Some medics already did all they could to find even the slightest abnormality within her, but physically she was fine, aside from some cuts and bruises. After doing some tests upon tests, the sleeping Inko was left in her room to recover, and Chiyo thanked Nighteye, but he denied the credit, telling Chiyo it was thanks to her grandson and his drive to save his mother. Some time passes. Inko wakes up. All the doctors, including Recovery Girl, were shocked to see Inko. In a moment, she was in some sort of vegetative state, where she can't speak, she can't do anything, and she seems that the people who would approach her, she freaks out. It's like she's scared of something or someone. After seeing Inko's situation firsthand, Chiyo just cries. She doesn't know what to think of the situation that Inko is currently in. She has no injuries that are considered severe, some cuts and bruises, some roam marks that actually signify of her being behind somewhere, and that she was unable to get out of there. But in this case, the way she acts is very unresponsive to anybody talking to her, but with certain people approach her, she basically starts acting up. Nighteye was worried that Chiyo's family was targeted, especially considering Inko and her state of mind. Doctors aren't sure that Inko would return back to normal, and the cause of her behavior is not known. As Nighteye would say, Chiyo-san, considering Inko's state, there is a high probability that your family is being targeted for who knows what reason. And before you ask me, the reason I'm bringing this up is because of a few visions I've seen. As Chiyo is visibly shocked, so what are you suggesting? As Nighteye would say, Chiyo, the reason why we were able to find Inko is because of one of the many visions I had, but the one that I found her was with Izuku, and what came after that. I can't find an appropriate word to describe what I've seen. As Chiyo would say, what do you mean? What did you see? Nighteye would say, the only thing I can tell you is that his quirk is sort of dangerous, especially when emotions are playing a key role. If I were to have let the events pan out as they were supposed to, Izuku would have gone rogue and actually go out of his way to become both judgment and law, saving those that are worthy of his help and condemning those that don't deserve to live. As Chiyo is visibly shocked, that can't be. My little Izu would never. As Sir Nighteye corrects her, saying, Chiyo-san, never is a strong word, and keep in mind, it doesn't take too much to turn someone like Izuku or someone more innocent than him to become a villain. Nor it's the other way around, and you want to know what it takes to do so. As Chiyo starts reflecting a bit, I see, you're right. Sir Nighteye would say, good, we can proceed with the matter at hand. I was thinking. Mitsuki barges into Nighteye and Recovery Girl's conversation, as Mitsuki is visibly worried, saying, Auntie Chiyo, I came as soon as I saw your text. Where's Inko? Is she okay? What about Izuku? And Chiyo saying, oh, Mitsuki, calm down. We're in the hospital, you know? Izuku's at school, and just for precaution, Sir Nighteye has someone keeping an eye out for him. Inko, on the other hand, she's in a room here in the hospital, and she's being watched over 24/7 for the particular state she's in. As Mitsuki is visibly confused, what do you mean? What kind of state? Is she okay? Chiyo would be trying to explain, as she would say, physically she's fine, but her mind, you can say it's broken. She can't speak, she can't interact, and when doctors try to examine her, she gets scared and starts to freak out. Then she tries to talk, but can't. It's like she's some sort of mental breakdown or something. And we still need to figure out what was the cause of it and somehow try reverting her mind back how she used to be. So until further notice, nobody's allowed to see her. As Mitsuki says, I see. So I'm guessing that includes me as well. As Sir Nighteye would be visibly annoyed and say, well, in that case, if you don't mind, me and Chiyo-san, we're trying to discuss some arrangements and what would be the best course of action regarding her and her family. Not to be rude, but it doesn't concern you. So would you kindly leave? As Mitsuki would start saying, now listen up, Mr. Fancy Pants. I don't know who you are, but if it concerns Auntie Chiyo, it does concern me. For all those times they were there for me, it's my turn to be there for them, and you won't stop me from doing so. As Sir Nighteye starts sighing, as he would say, fine. But now we would have to relocate and Recovery Girl's personal office. Sir Nighteye would say, so, as I was saying before I got interrupted, as he would start looking at Mitsuki, we can proceed with the matter at hand, concerning the visions I had on how dangerous Izuku's quirk could be in the wrong hands, and concerning the huge target on your back. I was thinking that me and All Might can take care of Izuku. We would adopt him, and therefore changing his last name. We could train him in the meantime, so he would be prepared if anything were to go wrong. But the downside in this case would be you spending little to no time with him. As Chiyo would say, Sir Nighteye, why would you go this far to change his last name, and do you really think it's the best way? As Nighteye would say, Chiyo-san, the reason why I thought of changing Izuku's last name is because of the people that kidnapped Inko. Her mind is a mess. Who knows if they already know about Izuku's quirk and try to use him as they please. So we'll basically fake Izuku's disappearance, changing his last name, his looks, and hope for the best. Before Chiyo can answer, Mitsuki would say, if that's the case, me and Masuro can take care of him. And besides, aren't two active pro heroes such as yourself attract more attention than anything? as Sir Nighteye was visibly shocked, as he would say, "Whoa, just wow. Normally I would think things through. I must say, you're indeed right. I guess there is a first time for everything." Thus, the plan to hide Izuku from potential threat commenced. After a while, Izuku arrived home to see his grandmother sitting on the living room couch, gesturing to him to sit next to her, as she explained the situation. Once the explanation was over, Izuku was shocked to say the least. He wanted to do something for his mother, but there was nothing he could do. He felt useless for the first time. He didn't like it. Then Chiyo started to talk about the living arrangements within the Bakugo household and telling him that he had to do. As Izuku would say, "No, I don't want to." As Chiyo would say, "Izu, listen to me. I don't like it either, but what if there were people after me and you? I know for the fact that if something happened to you, I wouldn't be able to live with myself. So please do this for me. As though you'll be safe there with them. Once we apprehend those that harmed your mother, and once she will recover, only then everything will be back to normal." Izuku would say, "What about Fido? Will he stay here? And what about Ojiro and the dojo?" As Chiyo would say, "Bring Fido with you. Besides, you and I both know how much he likes you. And about your friend and that dojo, unfortunately, you can't see him nor train at the dojo." As Izuku, understanding, got his bags ready. He wore a hoodie to hide his head. Then Sir Nighteye picked him up and accompanied him and Fido to the Bakugo residence, as his new life as Izuku Bakugo began. The next day, news on Izuku Shinjinji's going missing spread like wildfire, especially in the hospital, where Inko, hearing the nurses gossiping about it, a tear fell from her cheek as her grip to the blankets got tighter, while Ojiro lost his best friend. Only the higher-ups of the Hero Association and the top 10 pros knew about the false rumors. The others didn't. Time skip to the start of the anime. During this little time skip, big time skip, Izuku had an entirely different look. His one-screen hair and black hair was now a blonde and black. Although Izuku and Katsuki started out rough, Katsuki calling him a nerd since he was always on books, and Izuku calling Katsuki a terrorist, the two slowly but surely got used to each other, and actually having a brotherly bond. Katsuki's personality rubbed off on Izuku, and surely his confidence. Arrogant, sassy, but he still keeps the majority of his original traits. Katsuki, on the other hand, he's a bit calmer than original, and he respected Izuku. During middle school, Katsuki and Izuku were known as the top two students. Not only that, they were inseparable to the point that they referred to them as the Bakugo twins, although they told the others that they were cousins. Twice a week, Nighteye paid them a visit, and from time to time, especially on Izuku's birthday, Chiyo gave them a call, and Izuku told her everything that he did, asking for updates regarding his mother, and mostly small talk overall. Last period, the teacher walks to give them their aptitude test results. Everything goes as per usual, but Katsuki refrains by doing his speech, since Izuku can whip his ass if he misbehaves on Mitsuki's behalf, but most of the times they try to outdo each other in every occasion they can get. After school ended, Izuku headed home so he could walk Fido, and just when he was walking near by an alleyway, he saw a girl standing in the middle of it, looking on the floor. Izuku's curiosity got the best of him, and went to see what was going on, only to see that the girl watching a black cat bleed out to death. As the girl would say, "Hey, you're here to watch the show?" As Izuku would say, "Excuse me?" To be continued. So that's gonna be where we leave it off, guys. I do apologize for that. You guys can guess. I'm just gonna cater to you guys. Fuck it. But yeah, I hope you liked the episode. Again, I do apologize that there hasn't been updates on the new videos. Like I said, Ed is working. I'm also working. We're all working. It's because, like I said, this is more. I want to say this is just a hobby, to be honest. If you want to see what I've been up to, you can join my Discord server. I do tend to talk a lot, or I do interact. Just aid me, I guess. But just don't ask for free stuff on drawings. If I like the idea, I might. But currently, I'm a little bit busy with other stuff. I mostly did some requests, so I don't really do commissions. I just feel like I'm trash at that shit. So in this case, yeah, I hope you like the video. I'll see about updating any other. I'll see about trying to do another one. I'm just focusing right now on these two for Full Counter and Recovery Girl's Grandson. Ed is currently working on the Familiar of Zero and the Reincarnation of Link. I do apologize for not updating those. Like I said, he's working. I'm the one who needs some explaining to do. But again, I'm just drawing for the fun of it, helping other people. That's why. So yeah. Hope you guys have a good day or a good night.